if you are the type of individual who wants to make your life better, who wants to improve, who wants to achieve something in your life, then you're going to have to get really good at doing work. By definition, what work is the effort that we have to put in order to be able to achieve a goal that we want. So typically when people work, they'll go and do a job in exchange for money. That work is so they can get paid. But we can have other forms of work, like a relationship, like going to the gym, like reading, like self-development. Work is simply the effort that you've got to put into yourself in order to be able to get the outcome that you're desiring. So for us, it's really important that we can remain consistent throughout this progress so we can stay on a linear track to success. So in this video, I'm going to give you a few points that I do myself to help me stay consistent when it comes to achieving my goals. I've done this in my personal relationships, in my personal development, in my journey throughout the gym. You can apply this to anywhere in life that you want to be able to achieve success. It isn't just specifically for the gym or specifically just for one thing. This can be applied to any area in life where you have to put more effort into in order to be able to achieve goals. So if that's something that interests you, I highly suggest you stick around to the end of the video because we're going to change your life. So to begin with, when it comes to any form of work, no matter what it is, you need to have your reason why. And this is going to be your anchor. The reason why you need a reason why is because if you don't have a reason to be able to do something, then you haven't got something that's going to tether you to your goal. So let me give you a perfect example of this. The type of person who wants to lose body fat, they look at themselves in the mirror and they'll be like, I need to lose a bit of weight. They don't necessarily have a massive reason as to why they're doing it. They would just like the outcome of them being a little bit less fat. The problem we have here is that there is no emotional anchoring to their reasoning. So when we say to ourselves we need a reason why, we need something guttural, something that's actually gonna make us remember our purpose. So a perfect example of this could be, listen, I grew up being a skinny piece of shit my entire life and I always felt like I was not capable of defending myself. As a result of this, that is my reason why I go to the gym, why I work on myself, so I'm capable of being the person who is able to protect themselves. When I have this reason why, it's going to be so much easier for me in the moments where I don't want to be doing the work to be able to do the work. Because it's never when you're motivated that this is a problem. You're only ever going to face issues when you're feeling like progress is slow, when you start to question yourself and that voice in your brain goes, man, I really don't want to be doing this anymore. Is there even any fucking point? In that moment, you tell that voice to fuck off and you remind it why you're doing what you're doing. So if you're trying to gain muscle, think deep into your psyche why you're trying to do it. If you're trying to earn more money, why are you trying to earn more money? Is it because you are sick of seeing your parents struggle? Is it because you want to become a better individual? If you want to get a girlfriend, why do you want a girlfriend? Really deep it, really think about it, because when we can get a really good concrete answer, this is something we can revert to in times where we're going to be struggling. And like I'm going to say later in the video, we're going to be facing times where we don't want to be doing it. So next thing, it's really important for you to fall in love with your work. Now, this might seem really weird because isn't work something that I don't really want to do? So like most people, they go to their job and they fucking hate it. They hate their job, but they just have to slog it through. So then how is it possible to love the work that you're doing? The reason why you need to fall in love with the work that you're doing is because the work that you're going to put into yourself, so let's say for example, you're going to the gym, fall in love with the process because that work is enabling you to become the better version of yourself. And in doing so, you improve your life in such a dramatic scope and such a wide horizon of ways. This is why we fall in love with our work, because every single time we go and do something that we don't want to fucking do, we are making ourselves better. And whenever we make ourselves better, we improve our lives, we improve the lives of others around us. By falling in love with our work, this once again becomes a tether. It's reminding ourselves, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be fucking doing this right now. I don't want to be going to the gym. I don't want to be reading this book. I don't want to have to be bettering myself. I don't want to have to eat this healthy meal, because I would rather be going sitting and eating a tub of Ben and Jerry's, right? But because you understand why you're doing the work and the result that you're going to get from it, you will be able to fall in love with it. You'll be able to fall in love with the process of becoming a better individual and understanding that you're doing it and it's making your life better. Next, accept you aren't always going to want to do it. You're just simply not. There's going to come points in your life where you are going to be questioning, is this fucking worth it? Why am I doing this? Progress is really slow. You start to look at other people online. Oh, maybe that route's better. Maybe I should just change it up right now. And you get this shiny object syndrome where you think maybe switching is the better idea. Let me remind you that anything that is worth it in life takes a shitload of time. More time than you can possibly comprehend. And because of the way your dopamine is probably wired at the moment, you're geared for instant gratification. You're geared to want the pleasure in the now. But these pleasures in the now are fickle. They don't last and they lead you nowhere. It's the things that require effort that when you question yourself, you know they're worth it. It's the thing, you have to pursue the things that you're going to question. If you're not questioning whether or not you're going to make it or whether or not you're actually going to succeed in your goal, then you know it's a goal that's worth doing because it's fucking hard. If this stuff was easy, everyone would be doing it. That's why most people are fat, because it's easier to be a glutton and sit on your arse and watch TV than it is to get in the gym, diet and actually work on yourself. Come to terms with the fact that there will be days that you don't want to be doing it. And regardless of how you feel, do the work. Because you know by doing the work, you will get the result that you set yourself out to get years ago. And when you become the type of individual who's actually capable of fulfilling the goals that you set yourself, you build a shit ton of self-respect. I cannot tell you how much better my life has become since I've started to actually fulfill the goals that I set myself. I remember a few years ago, you know, I'd be saying I want to improve myself, I want to quit drugs, I want to stop watching porn, I want to stop doing, you know, playing video games and all this stuff. And I never really managed to actually get into it. I never really managed to quit because, oh, you know what, it's too hard. I get like a 10-day streak and I'm like, oh, you know what, I mean, life's short, right? Life's short, I don't need to bother trying. And then as a result of that, I started to dislike who I was because I wasn't capable of sticking to my word. But then there eventually came a time where I was like, no, I am sick of the person I'm being, because eventually you get to the point where you realise these habits do nothing for you. They just keep you in the same place, like a hamster on a wheel. You feel like you're doing something, but you're not. And then I eventually got to the point where I did start doing the work, and I was like, I actually like who I am now. Which is funny, because I never really liked who I was. I was always like a bit like, I didn't like myself, right? I couldn't look at myself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I love this character that I'm playing. But now, the self-respect that I have for myself, because I know I'm capable of, if I want something, I'll go out and do it. I cannot tell you how beautiful of a feeling that is to know that this is possible for you. I'm telling you this right now. If you stick on this path, it is possible for you to look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of who the fuck you are. And I tell you, it's one of the best feelings ever. And I don't say this lightly. Next thing, stop listening to your feelings. Now, I'm sure you've had it where you've had instances where, you know, your brain will tell you to do something. Here's the scenario. You're standing at a train station and your brain tells you, you could push that person in right now. But you don't do it. Naturally don't do it because you haven't got the proclivity and you're not weird and you haven't got a mental illness. But your brain does whisper to you, you could push that person in. You could, in theory, push that person in, but you refuse not to. Why is this? It's because our mental barrier of our code of ethics and morality dictates that we don't do this. So how can I apply this to your situation? When you have a feeling that you don't want to do something, when you feel like you need to take a rest, when you feel like you should go eat the shit food, when you feel like you should just go binge watch TV or play video games instead of working on yourself, You don't actually have to listen to that feeling. That feeling that your brain is telling you is no different to that feeling where you could push that person on the train tracks. You see, feelings are an incredibly fluid thing. So that means throughout the day, you're going to be feeling hundreds of different feelings, depending on what's going on, depending on what you eat, depending on who you interact with. This is a very dangerous thing, especially for you as a man, because feelings are so fluid, you will want to do different things depending on them feelings. And the problem we have here is if you change direction depending on what feeling you're having, you're never going to make any progress because you're going to be constantly switching. This is where we enter the realm of logic. Logic dictates that we do something regardless of how we feel. So this is discipline in its rawest form. You don't want to go to the gym. I feel like I shouldn't go, but I'm going to go anyways because I know it's the right thing for me to do. Over time, once again, this builds self-respect because you end up becoming the individual who's like, I'm a man on a mission. I'm the type of individual who has a goal and I'm going to go fucking get it regardless of how I feel. This carves you out and sculpts you into the type of man that people fucking respect, that women respect, that you respect, that your family respects. This type of character building will shape your entire life. It's a complete character reframing. As a man, you should not be making decisions based on how you feel. We know that women are emotional creatures and women act based on their emotions. As a man, it's incredibly dangerous for you to be acting out of your emotion. You need to say something to yourself, say you're going to do it and fucking stick to it no matter how you feel. That's how you make progress in your life. And lastly, you need to embrace the beauty of delayed gratification. By definition, delayed gratification is, doing something in the now which doesn't get you any immediate reward, but then it rewards the future version of you. So this, of course, would be going to the gym, would be reading, would be educating yourself, would be investing, would be getting into a really intelligent long-term relationship. By doing these things, you don't see any progress to begin with. And this is why most people are fucking miserable, because they cannot stick to something for long enough to be able to see the results. The gym is the perfect example. People will be going to the gym for a few months, or people will be trying a diet for a few months. And then they get discouraged because they're not seeing the progress now, because they want the progress now. But nothing good comes quick, nothing good comes easy. It takes time for you to be able to actually craft something that's worth it. The reason why you probably find things so fucking tricky is because everything you do in your life is wired around instant gratification. By definition, instant gratification is doing something which rewards you in the moment, right now, but has detrimental effects later down the line. So this is watching porn, this is playing video games, this is doing drugs, smoking weed, alcohol, eating junk food, watching social media, scrolling on short form. All this stuff feels good. It's fucking easy. It requires no effort. It's so easy for you to go. You can get Pornhub up in 10 seconds right now. You could go downstairs to your kitchen and grab the shittest food possible and eat that, and it will feel good. But it won't benefit you. If you keep doing that day in, day out, your life becomes shit and you become flabby and soft and pathetic. But it's easy to do. Most people do it. The reason why you might find delayed gratification hard and actually improving yourself hard is because you are geared to do things for you in the moment. But the only way you can improve your life is to cut out instant gratification and then start doing that which is delayed. And you have to sit with the pain of like, oh, I don't know if this is going to fucking work. Look at anyone successful that you look up to. Literally anyone successful that you want to be like. They have had to sacrifice so many things in this present moment so that they can get what they want in the future. This isn't going to be a fucking fairground ride, if I'm going to be honest. If you want something in your life, it's not going to be easy. Your entire psyche is going to tell you, you don't need to be doing this. Pardon me. You need to stop. It's not going to work. Do you know how much grit it takes to go against your own brain? It requires that you level yourself up and become the type of individual who is capable of improving themselves. Get to work. Understand the importance of delayed gratification. Understand the importance of not listening to your feelings and just doing it regardless of how you feel. Fall in love with the process. Because when you start to see results, it's all about a feedback loop. As soon as you start to see results in what you're doing, you'll realise that the efforts that you had put in will work. If you want personal help on this, if you want to be coached by me, click the link down below. If you made it this far in the video, leave a like in the comment section. Leave a thumbs up in the comment section for me. Like, comment and subscribe. Share it with someone who you think may find it helpful. And I'll catch you in the next one.